Party time. Party time. Party time. Party time. Drink your drinks and eat your eats. It's party time. Laugh your laughs and eat your eats. It's party time. Smile your smiles and blow your blues. It's party time. There. Dance your dance and shoe your shoes. It's party time. Howl your howls and suck your socks. It's party time. Yeah. Oh baby, grab your craps and fuck your fucks. It's party time. Grab your craps and fuck your fucks. It's party time. Everybody. Grab your craps and fuck your fucks. It's party time. One more. Grab your craps and fuck your fucks. It's party time. Here we go. Party time. Yeah. Party time. Party time. Yeah. Party time. 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 Hey. Party time. Yeah. Party time.
Yo. So this is a really weird one. Hang on, let me work out. There we go. Yo. So, why is it? I'm changing. I am going to go to OBS. I'm going to learn how to use OBS. Apparently, the audio is better and everything. You just need to learn how to use it. We've got 15 people here. Now, I'll tell you, there's a few reasons for this. I'll give you the first one. So my missus is just over there. It's quite sweet, actually, sitting on the balcony, chopping up garlic, sorting out tonight's dinner. It's incredible having a missus. You just sit working, and like butterfly prawns and fried rice just get put on your desk. And you're like, oh, nice one. And then you eat that, and then that plate disappears, and a couple of minutes later, look, there she goes. Do you want to say hello? She's not all glamorous, so she's a bit funny, but she's got a little bowl. Show the bowl the actual cooking. Bit of home cooking. That's it. She said, "Own twirm a hop." That means I'm doing it. Literally translates as honey do cook. Anyway, then a cake comes along. This morning she bought 2 kilos of durian. I've already done about a kilo of it. It's a bit much durian to eat, to be honest with you. Hello, Charlie. Nice to see you. Might as well get some hellos in. There's 20 people. I reckon I can get you all in. If you say hello in the chat, I'll get you in. Otherwise, I don't know you're here. I just know the numbers. So just Sean's here. Hello, Sean. Charlie. Charlie's got a lovely voice. Danger. That's me. Weird mistake to make. Look at my eyes. Look at them. Look, state of them. I'll explain that in a minute as well then. E for elephants. Otto's on the firm. Hello, mate. Long time no see. Stephen Campbell. Stephen, I think it was Vincent. That will be the real Vincent Griffin. No imitators. I think it was Vincent that said he hadn't seen you around in a while. And he said, good bloke, Stephen was. I think it was him. It might have been Mega Essex Boy, but it feels a bit more like the sort of thing Vincent would say. There's Al Mac. Morning bigots. It has got a bit of the COVID feel about it. I'm usually asleep now. You know, it's 3:00 in the afternoon. That's bedtime for me. Who else has braved the chat? Ludwig's on the firm. Sneaky little Sunday morning. Lovely. Ozmeister's braved the firm. Lovely. I said hello to Charlie. Nothing wrong with 2. Latus is here. Oh, Latus. I thought your email to me was going to be, you know, I asked you for some advice and I got an email from you and I've kept saying, Latus, I've seen your email. Thank you very much. I'll have a look at that when I get some time. Finally opened it. Just you promoting your own writing. Nothing wrong with that, obviously, but just wasn't what I thought it was, you know. Let's get a bit of this Harry Monk off off my glasses. Actually had sex with my glasses on the other day because the missus likes to get me to put a bit of wax on my moustache and twiddle it round and pretend to be a teacher. You watch when she comes in, I'll do it. I won't mention anything sensual. She'll see me do it and she'll get all shy. She likes it. She can have it. Is that Finch? Hello, Finch. Finch, come in. That's nice. Nyanthos is here. Also lovely. Oh, they're turning up now in massive numbers. That would be my Substack mailing list. You know Jeff Charlie, you know the geezer that talks about the myth of mental illness. Been on the channel 3 times. Bit of a hero of mine. He sent me an email saying that he really appreciates that we've become friends. I was heartbroken. What a lovely thing to say because it means that to me as well. He set up a Substack and he put the 3 videos of me and him on it, which is lovely. That means a lot to me. But because he's new to Substack, he's putting like 10 things on every day. When people get 10 Substack messages in their email inbox the same day from the same person, and then the next day, and then the next day, I might have to email him, you know, do your Substack how you want, but that will just give, in the end, people just like block. You know, they'll think, oh, I'll just check out his Substack manually. I don't need all this clutter. And then they don't check it out manually because life is a clutter. So, hello, MCJ Power. Is this a members stream? No, but right. Listen, can someone answer me? Hello, I'm not even going to risk saying it, but hello, good to see thee. Can someone answer me this, right? On a Discord server, like I've got one because I use Midjourney and I had to set one up to use Midjourney. Oh, listen, between you and me, I've got to encrypt this slightly. Look how tired I look. I'll explain all that. I think you know anyway. I'm a drug addict. No, there is a real reason. So I've written this new novel and there's a bird in it. The character's 14. The protagonist. It's essentially me when I was 14. It's in 1986, so there's loads of nice nostalgia in there to keep the lazy readers interested. And he falls in love with this 36-year-old bird. But so have I. Yeah. Because I had to make her like almost, well, on the surface, I mean, I'm not that bad a writer that I just, you know, she's perfect. She obviously isn't. And there's a denouement where it all goes, But, and this has never happened to me. I mean, all writing is autobiographical. All writing. I wrote this on Substack this morning. You know, whether you're writing fantasy stuff, whether you're writing sci-fi, it doesn't matter. It's all autobiographical. How can it be anything else? But to actually fall head over heels for one of your own characters. And I made a real mistake. Here, I'll show you. It's a bit hyper real because it's AI. But based on my descriptions of her, I said to ChatGPT, because I've been using ChatGPT to edit the punctuation and maintain a continuity of format. Because there's things like I'll put commas inside of speech marks and I'll put commas outside of speech marks. And because it's a commercial novel, I have to use commas and speech marks. I've sort of given up on them in my shorts on Substack. Anyway, because Substack's been format editing, it knows the story. And I said, oh, based on what you know, write me a prompt for Midjourney to create an image of, and then the character's name. I don't want to give anything away because I would like you to read this novel at some point. And it made it, and it's spot on, man. And I was like, no way has someone donated. Wow, nice one, Stephen. No one donates anymore. Well, they do. That's not fair. That's not fair. But I had the lowest ever donation stream the other day. Oh, yeah, I'm being warned that my internet's slowly looking like I might cut out. But if I do cut out, it comes back in the morning. Stephen, I'll come back to that in a minute, mate. I just want to show you quickly this bird. And the problem is, not only have I become a bit obsessed with her, but making an image of her was terrible. Sometimes I've just stared at it. Not my type at all either. You know, you all know I've got yellow fever. But and like I say, it's a bit hyper real. There's no woman in the world looks this perfect. But it was quite weird getting in the old chat GPT, trying to get it done quickly while the missus is in the kitchen. Yeah, here we go. All right. Present screen. Yeah. Check it. She works in a library. What do you make of that? Good gosh. But amazing, eh? Amazing to tell. That was really weird. I turned to my other monitor and she was there about that big. Go ahead. It was amazing that I got ChatGPT to write the prompt based on the information it had. I tell you what, I got that in about half a second split. LC 350. Hello, love. Yeah. LC 350s here. Super hot chick, yeah, for sure. Otto Wood, amazing. Wood, yeah, I think it was. Yeah, she's got it going on. You want to come on, Stephen? I think we can arrange that. Oh, it's Stephen. I know you've just given a 10 spot, but because you haven't been here for a while, I don't really want to grift it this morning, although I will. You've got Buy Me a Coffee and Entropy at the top of the YouTube stream. If you do Buy Me a Coffee, you get a video reply, and it's not one I've got in the wood. You get a personal one. Everyone who's donated over there has got a personal one. It's quite funny. But some of you might not know about the Scrubs wall. This is the king of the grifts. That's my great-great-grandmother. Look at her at. Look at that. There she is, sitting down after a bit of business. So for 20 bond, me and my missus are building a house in the province. We reckon 2 years now, if we can afford it. But they're the people who've already paid. Look, the Scrubs wall. Got some classics. JP, Jack London, the Me In It's, Packer, Pax, Max, Ravenscroft, and a few others. Yeah. Exciting stuff. Campbell wants to come on. We can sort that out. I imagine Packer's in bed anyway, lazy bastard. He's given up drinking. Well, that's what I was thinking, Stephen. You've just given a 10 spot. If you do another, I'll put you on it. But if you want to come on, we can do it a call in. Yeah, there's the link, Stephen. I'm only having one person at a time, though. It's hard to manage when there's more than one person in. The link's in the chat. Right. So listen. Let's do Stephen's super chat first. Hello, me handsome face. Oh, right. Hello, me handsome face would probably boost your super chats, innit? There you go. I see what you've done. Too bad I'm busy and all that. And all serious. Oh, are you talking Northern English? Here he is. Hang on. And busy and all that. And all seriousness, though, if you started getting into that writing, you should start a Substack, though, in it. Is that? Thank you, Stephen. That's very kind of you. I haven't got a clue what you're talking about. Now, why are you tiny? Let's sort this out. Let me press that one. There you go.
Not that tiny.
Are you in the Nether?
Am I in a what?
I can see why people don't like me not wearing a t-shirt now.
It looks good. What are you talking about, man? Looks good. I'm doing the Dangerfield.
Yeah, but Stephen, imagine if someone. Thank you for that donation. Very kind. Imagine you'd never been on this stream before and you just went onto YouTube and it said live and you thought, I'll have a look, see what's happening. You click on it and there's just two blokes with
it would depend on what I was into.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
I'd probably click off. I'd probably say, "Oh, what's all this shirtless bloke like and all that?" No, I think I'll click off. Right quick.
Stephen, can I ask you, in all truth, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being awful and 10 being perfect, where do you think that accent is as being good as an English accent?
I think that if you're honestly comparing it to an actual accent, it's a 4 out of 10. However, as a parody, it's a 7.5 out of 10.
You were clever. That's a clever answer there because you were both honest and you boosted yourself.
Yep.
Is it evening there, or are you having a breakfast tinny?
I'm up very late at night, pouring another drink. Buffalo Trace, Kentucky bourbon.
I do like a bourbon. I'll tell you what I like, Stephen, an old fashioned. The cocktail.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely. I don't have too many of them though. Hang on a minute. Charlie Sparkles has dropped £2 in. The best way to buy a brick for maximum percent to reach you. I don't. Oh, Charlie, are you suggesting you're going to actually buy the brick and send it to me? I don't think the house is going to be actually made out of bricks. They don't really do that out here. Probably bamboo or something. But there will be a scrubs wall. We've already got enough. Anyway, I've already talked about that.
It's hard to say if she's trolling you or not. Charlie's, she likes to take the piss.
What does it mean, Stephen? What's she talking about?
I'm not sure, but I love Charlotte. I spent a week with her in Spain last year. Believe it or not.
No way.
Yeah. Before I went to England and I saw Dub Power.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Is this meant to be on the QT? Is Charlie now at home going, no, Stephen, you're drunk. This was all meant to be. Look how drunk he is.
No.
Did you ever hit a bourbon and wash it down with a lager then?
No, it's an energy drink, but I did have half a double of bourbon. But no, I saw her and her fiance, Mr. S. He's a lovely fella.
That changes things. Hang on, half a double bourbon. Isn't that just a single?
Yeah, but it increases the size of your bollocks if people know that it's not just a part of a single.
We've had an absolute result, Scrubs, with absolutely pissed out of his bonk, Stephen Campbell. Thank you, Charlie. I'm sorry I don't know what you're talking about. Why Naughty G has dropped 150 NT dollars. Thank you, Why Naughty G. That's lovely. And Plastic African has been a member for 3 months. He hasn't. He's been around here for about 6 years. Lovely Plastic African.
I forget, how long have I been around here? Has it been 5 years for me yet, or Don
It's hard.
Browning for me?
I think I can find out. I think there is a way of finding out when subscribers subscribe. Chances of me remembering to do it and then doing it, it's the law of diminishing returns. See you later, love. Oh, hang on, what are you not? Bring it here, bring it here, bring it here. I like to show people what happens in the tropical world. Dawn Browning has been a member. So look, over in Cambodia, your girlfriend walks past you with loads of freshly cut aloe vera and a massive knife. And what are you going to do with all this aloe vera, darling? Look, there's loads of it. It's fucking lethal as well. It's like serrated. What's this for? Own mahob tour?
Yeah.
That.
3.
Nyanda.
Yeah.
Oh. People make drink out of it. Look at Campbell. Look. He looks like one of those street drinkers. See you later, my love. I love you. Take care. You going on a motorbike? Wear hat. Right.
I don't know what's sexier, the aloe vera to keep the smooth skin, or the knife, which adds a little bit of danger. It's hard to tell sometimes.
Let me see how long. If I can find this in, I like the angle you've got today, Stephen. I think drink has made a man of you. Become an alcoholic. Nothing wrong
That's
with
what
that.
they tell me. That's what they tell me. It's bad.
It's a great way to live, but it's a bad way to die.
Well, you know what? I like the occasional drink a lot more than I liked my junkie youth. That was a hard way to go. You know.
You were on the smack as a youngster, were you?
Well, it's I'm old school scrub, aren't I? You know, you kind of have to be, don't you?
It's a hard life, isn't it? It's an unpleasant life.
You know what? When you're young, it's a whole lot of waiting. You try to know the people who need, whether you have a car or you have the connections or whatever. When you're young, you make your own connections based on what you have to offer. And it's a hard existence, you know.
I was
you're always waiting.
On this stream the other day, I was saying that, oh no, it wasn't. I was editing my other big novel, and you just don't give phone numbers away. If you've got a contact, you never give people ring you and go, can you ring your mate? They know you're not going to give them the number, because if you're going to call that bloke for them, they're going to buy you a bag. And you know, it's so tight. I was doing it before mobile phones, where you just had to go and wait.
Pager.
No, pre-pager. I mean, pagers were about, but people didn't like having them because it was a red light to a cop. Unless you were a doctor, you were a drug dealer. You know, it was just like, yeah. But you'd have to just go to where the dealers would go, sort of sometime that day, and there'd be like 20 of us just sitting there, like in various stages of withdrawal, waiting for him to and then not have enough to serve everyone. So the really sort of scared, broken kid at the end didn't even.
Was just not. I remember one of the things I used to do was I'd go to Cincinnati from Eastern Kentucky, and I'd travel all the way over with my buddies, and I even did the.
How far is that? Give us a sense of, I don't know.
5 hours. 5 hours.
Me,
5 hours. 5 hours, sick as a dog, driving 90 miles an hour down the interstate. It's like a motorway, isn't it? Yeah, the interstate. And then you get pulled over. And I even did the trick one time, and it worked. I told the cop, I said, our grandfather, and it was just 4 junkies in the car. And I told the cop, I was like, our grandfather's in the hospital dying. And he was like, all right, you guys just go on. And we went to Cincy.
That's why all our eyes are watering and we're shaking and
yeah. Well, and I went on to Cincy, and you go there and you get right, and then you head on the way back, and then I had my buddy, and he was a medic in the service, so I had my left hand because we drive the steering wheel is on the left side of the car. I had my left hand on the steering wheel and my right arm positioned on the center console, and I looked at my buddy and I was like, "All right, go ahead, hit me."
Yeah, quickly.
On the way back, as soon as we crossed that bridge out of Cincinnati, I was like, "All right, go ahead, hit me." And then it's just as soon, just 5 seconds after, it made the whole fucking trip worth it, dude. The whole trip, you just feel so much better.
It certainly gets you out of trouble. We won't dwell on opiates because we've done that a lot on this channel. But there is one question: since you had to add such a long score, did you ever get to Cincinnati and get robbed or get sold rubbish, and get back home and it was nothing and like brick dust, or just get the money taken off you, or any? Did it ever? No,
I would have known. I would have known very quickly if it was nothing.
Yeah, but you're not in much of a position to do anything about it. Are you? I'm gonna.
Well, you know what? I wasn't at the time. I'm not the horrible wisp of a junkie man that I was 15 years ago. I'm not. However, my buddy at the time, despite his junkie status, was like ex-military for many years, and he was mean. You didn't want to mess with him, and those fellas in Cincinnati didn't want to mess with him either, because you could just tell by looking at him, like he's just not the kind of guy that you want to mess with. So that's who I would.
Dottie, did your brother die? Not you, Dottie. You, Stephen.
Mine? No.
No, okay. Sorry, I don't know why I had that. Hello there, Jules Roper, Cup winner. Hello, Nate. So what? It's Saturday night there, is it?
Yeah.
And you
went to the bars. Well, I went to the bars for a little while, and then I came back home. Then I saw I was talking to Charlie on a Telegram, and she said, "Oh, wait, Dangerfield is streaming." I was like, "Oh, I'll tune in and see what these fellas are up to."
Tune in like the old shortwave radio. I can't even whistle now. So this is why this stream, I'm just checking I didn't miss any. Done Charlie's, done Why Not G, Plastic African. Dawn Browning hasn't been a member for 41 months, been a member for about 10 years. So I'm giving up vaping, by the way. I'll tell that story in a minute. And I've said it 6 years ago, but I am going to. Right. This is why this stream is called Power Cut Sneaky Quick One. So I'm sitting here working, 2 monitors. I need 2 monitors to work. Suddenly the fan goes off, boom, monitor goes off, boom, this internet goes off. And I'm like, for fuck's sake, can't do anything. And then I think, I can. I've got 4G on my phone. I've got about 30 minutes power left on it. I can use my phone as a hotspot to get internet on my desktop. I've got about 30 minutes battery. I'll just do a stream until it runs out. And so I've done all that, set it all up, and as soon as it went live, all the lights and the fan and now it's all, so I haven't even got a power cut. So that's why I just thought I'd do that. It was a bit weird. Right, hang on. Charlie, that one, sorry, it's that one again. I really don't know. Charlie, I do not know.
It's hard to tell with Charlie sometimes.
Lovely voice, though. I spoke to her. I can't remember whether it was about doing some singing or some editing. I spoke to her on Telegram.
Well, she has a lovely singing voice. She has a lovely speaking voice. She has kind of a posh voice. Well, she went to Durham, don't you know? Durham, so she sounds kind of posh, but she also has a. Oh well, yeah. Charlie's posh, but she has a lovely mezzo soprano singing voice, and we do karaoke together and stuff like that. I do duets. I'm a tenor. I actually sing myself, so I do a little bit with her. Huh?
Oh, go on then. Let's have
Go
some.
on.
Let's have a few bars.
You want me to sing? You want me to sing for you?
Yeah.
There's a lady who's sure all that glitters is gold, and she's buying a stairway to heaven.
Oh, yay.
But oi, look at this. This is what you need to pay attention to. A Stratocaster and the Gibson Les Paul right here.
I'm more of a Les Paul man, to be honest with you. I mean,
Oh yeah.
I'm more of a acoustic nylon string parlor guitar kind of guy, but you know.
I got the best acoustics that there ever was. This one right here belonged to my great grandfather. Right here, Martin acoustic Appalachian. This is Appalachian tradition. If you're curious,
actually made up in your neck of the woods.
No. These they're made in Pennsylvania, but they're used for bluegrass. And this one belonged to my great grandfather. So this is a 50-year-old guitar. My great grandfather in Central Appalachia was playing this guitar 50 years ago.
Hello, RMF. Good to see you, mate. That looks like a nice guitar.
They're they're very fancy. Yeah.
Oi, Stephen, do you like Billy Strings?
Yeah, I've heard him play. Here's my great grandfather. No, I mean I've seen the videos. Here's my great grandfather with the guitar.
Closer,
my grandfather.
Closer. No, a lot closer. You need to put it a lot closer. More. There. And that's the guitar you've got there.
The one that I just showed you, yeah, and this was 50 years ago.
No, that is
I've got four if you bluegrass music for a guitar player, you need a Martin guitar, right? These are guitars, Martin guitars, right? These are the guitars that you need. I've got two of them, and they are across 4 generations of family members who play them.
Let's pedal back a bit. That's lovely, obviously. I like that sort of thing. But why do you need that particular guitar for bluegrass or bluegrass, as you call it?
Well, you don't, but it's just what you play, you know. If you want to play if you want to play like 80s hair metal, you could do with an Ibanez or something.
Yeah,
if you want to play. Yeah, it's the same kind of thing.
I get you. Charlie, he's had a few drinks, so you got to make use of that, haven't you? Come on.
I did my first show when I was 17 for 1,000 people, and I had to do a Jimi Hendrix guitar solo. So my social anxiety was burnt out a long time ago.
Did you do a Jimi Hendrix solo as Jimmy would play it, or did you do it in a Hendrix style?
I did it as I would play it, but I did it as faithfully as I could to the original recording.
I'll tell you why, because Mumford, I've stopped speaking to him, pissed me off. But he's considered amongst he's a fantastic musician. I mean, he done all the music for Household. I wrote the melodies and that, but he played it. But he's considered, like, his Hendrix cover bands are considered amazing. But he said to me once, he said, I don't play what Hendrix played. I don't do it note for note Hendrix. I just do a sort of Hendrix style, sort of, obviously for the melodies and that he does, but he's not note for note doing the same solos.
Well, the reason, I don't know why he chose to do it differently. However, he has the skills to do it as he wants, but I was 17, so I had to do it note for note. Now, I had the skills. I did have the skills to do it note for note. Hendrix was not beyond me at that point, because Hendrix was more a creative force than he was a technical force. It's not that hard to recreate technically what he did, but the creativity, yeah.
That's a great
So,
point. That's a great point.
but I did do it note for note.
You could say the same about someone like Sid Barrett. I mean,
Oh my
guitar
God.
player,
Yeah,
but
terrible.
beautiful songwriting. I mean, probably my favorite songwriter.
Sid Barrett, the original Pink Floyd album and Piper: The Gates of Dawn was just fantastic, especially for someone like me who's kind of I'm kind of a space case in terms of like the substances and stuff. So when I hear some guy like Sid Barrett in his early days who was about to go crazy but not quite there yet, it resonates with me in a way that it's hard to describe. You know what I'm saying?
What's that lovely one? I think it's called something like Chapter 24. And it starts off, yeah, you will. It's got some sort of horrible old organ, and he goes, all movement is accomplished in 6 stages, and the 7th brings return. Do 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 do. I won't go on. Oh, it's beautiful.
You know the amazing thing is, like, it's hard to in the US, right? You have to have a British accent in order to pull off that sort of eccentric the vocal melody. In the US, if you have a British accent, we will permit all manner of eccentricities. If you have, and it's odd, especially in Kentucky. Like, if you came to Kentucky, like whenever I've had people from England visit me in Kentucky, every store we go to, people are like, oh my God, I love your accent. You know, so if you want to visit Central Appalachia, people will love you.
It's certainly on the cards, but it works the other way around as well, because if you're in a rock band, you get the odd one like Oasis and the whole Britpop thing, but Britpop that gives the game away. But certainly in the 80s, if you wanted to play rock, you had to have an American accent. You very hard to sort of sing hair rock with an English accent.
But there's where you are partially right.
There are exceptions.
I'll prove it to you. I'll prove it to you.
Okay. This is a problem with drunks, you see. They don't listen. But carry on.
No. I'm sorry. It's just the delay. Please continue.
No, I was only joking, Stephen. Go on, crack on.
No, please. So the reason that you're 50% right is not because you're wrong half the time. It's that you're right. No. It's that you're right. However, hair metal was sang in a non-rhotic accent. It was sang in a non-rhotic accent. The R's are softened. And the R's were softened because of the influence of the English. It's the only reason. Originally, they were softened.
But when you're sort of 16, 17, and you get your first sort of electric, and your mate's got a bass, and you start writing songs, you're all like, I'm gonna get myself out of this town. And to me, that's American sounding. I mean, to you, obviously, it isn't. But, you don't do a Sid Barrett. You don't go, I'm going to get myself out of this town.
Correct. But you're talking about a Bruce Springsteen.
I thought it was amazing. Just something you said was amazing. I've got to try and remember it. You said you're 50% right, but this is why you're not 50% wrong or something. I'm going to have to look back at that. It was almost NLP magic. It made me feel like I'd succeeded. But if you listen back to what you said, you actually slag me off.
Well, no. I mean, you have the right. In general, you're correct. However, rock music and the hair metal in the 80s was sang in a non-rhotic style. If you listen to any Guns N' Roses record, right? For example, any Guns N' Roses record, then then it's sang in a non-rhotic style.
Yeah, but no. To any English person, Guns N' Roses sounds like American rock and roll. I promise.
Except for the softening. Yeah, no, I agree. It sounds like American rock and roll. However, the softening of the R's is a very important component, and it was taken from the British invasion, who had a big influence on us. Now, granted, the blacks and the blues era did sing in a non-rhotic style much of the time. However, the non-rhotic style of the 70s American rock and the 80s American hair metal was taken from the British invasion. I sing in a non-rhotic style. I soften my R's. When I speak with an American accent, and I say but when I sing, I say I say never, never. I soften my R's when I sing.
Stephen Campbell, someone told me once that, do you know what a glissando is? It glissando?
Yeah, glissando, yeah.
Your lowest to your highest.
Yes.
Right. But he said to me, if you're not a trained singer,
yes,
you're going to jump an octave. At some point, you're going to jump an octave. And he said to me he said to me that jump is your speaking pitch. And everyone I've tried it out on, except for one bloke who could do it. He was a clarinet player, and he just went, oh.
You want me to show you? Do you want me to do it?
Well, I was about to say to that, can you do it without the jump?
Yes.
Can you?
Yes.
No, you didn't. You jumped.
I flipped, yes. Okay, so what it is you're
No.
You flip from your chest voice. You're right. You're right.
I can hear it about to go. Did you?
Yeah. So what it is you're flipping from your chest voice to your mixed voice to your head voice. You're flipping from each. You have the 3 registers as a man, and falsetto, but falsetto is chest voice.
Sounded like you went from Jim Morrison to ELO to Led Zeppelin. Then it was like a mad medley of aesthetic audio-ness.
Oh yeah, and you know what? I have my faults in terms of passaggio navigation. Your primo passaggio connects your chest voice to your mixed voice. Your secundo or second passaggio connects your mixed voice.
Hang on. No. You're talking too fast because I want to learn it.
Yeah,
so explain it.
Okay, so with the gear shifts you're talking about, that's what you're talking about, the gear shifts in the voice, right?
But some people can do it without the jumps.
Yes. Because they're better than I am. They're better than I am. And they have very good... Well, yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I consider myself to be a pretty good singer. I can sing high above the women. I can sing low with Jim Morrison. However,
can you sing high up there?
Yes.
What, like a falsetto?
Yes.
What's the one where can you sing a castrato?
Yes.
Castrati.
Yes.
Right, listen to this, people. I'm going to play it for you as well. There used to be a thing this is why in church choirs they have young boys, because they've got that beautiful
If they were trebles, not if they were they had to be trebles, and an especially beautiful treble before the church would castrate them, and that would make them a castrata.
So this is the story I'm telling. So what they done, if someone was a particularly beautiful voice, they didn't want them to enter puberty, so they cut their nuts off. I'm not joking. And there's one very famous bloke, I can't remember his name, but there's a recording. I think we've had it on the show before.
I've probably seen it.
But you can hear him, and the geezer's like 40 odd. Here we go. Alessandro Morschi. This is hang on, is this it? This is. It will be beautiful as well because it's Ave Maria, which is a beautiful piece of music.
Oh
Yeah,
yes,
he's a
absolutely.
castrati. So I might get yeeted, but this is right. This is what the blurb says. Cavaliere Moreschi singing. Here we can hear more ease his voice and how this has obviously been translated because it's a bit clunky, and how he can sing mostly, as Stephen was just saying, in the
Mhm.
chest voice. That's a thing
Yes.
today listeners cannot understand. Castrati, which is someone who had their vas deferens removed, sang in the chest voice, not only the head. Bernacci, another castrato, taught Fernellini, there's nothing Fernellini about having your balls chopped off, how to sing colacere. Do you know colacere? In chest
I'm
voice.
not familiar.
Anyway, let's listen to a bit of this man. He's about 50 and he's got no balls because they chopped him off so that he could maintain this beautiful. I mean, look, I don't want to get into the whole JQ, but I don't know how I'd feel waking up as a 14-year-old and realizing that my old man chopped the end of my willy off when I was born. I think I'd have some issues with that. But to
Probably.
find out they've done it, so not just the little bit of overlap, but your actual, your literal nuts.
Yeah,
So
they were
can enjoy
castrated.
listening. It's proper brutal, isn't it?
It
Here we go.
is.
This is Alessandro Moreschi. Alessandro Moreschi, the man with no balls. But in a way, he has got balls because he stood up in public and sung, and everyone knew he didn't have balls. Right, here we
It's
go.
hard.
It's not hard because nothing underneath it's a. Did you see
Oh
what I-
yeah.
Yeah, like,
You know,
like
it stays soft all the time.
Oi, Stephen, go as high as you can, but not just a screech. Maintain. No, come down a bit. What you're going to do your. That's me done. Right, here we go. Listen to the ballless one. Here we go. I'm going
Let's
to mute
hear
the
it.
mic so that there's no echo. Literally the fastest version of Ave Maria I've ever heard. They must have slowed it down over time. But anyway, well, I interrupted it there because I just don't want YouTube to yeet me. Here we go. It'll start in a minute. It's fucking beautiful though, man. I've got to say. I mean, not worth your balls, but that's beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful.
Well, you know the what you are getting, because I can sing in the.
No, but you just demonstrated.
But falsetto. No. I can hit the notes, but it's in falsetto. It's not in chest voice. The location of your passagios determines your FOC, which is your categorization as a singer, right?
Did you
So,
say like your location of your fuck? I don't think he's doing much fucking, this fella.
not a whole lot.
I mean,
But the location of your FOC, FACH, right? H, page with for whatever reason, they say it like that. Weird English people, but
No, I'm not. I don't buy it. I always call it out. It's H all day long. Ludwig
thank you.
Ludwig reckons you're singing at a drinky pitch.
Yeah, but so here's the thing. Whether you're a bass, baritone, tenor, or castrato for singular, castrati for plural, you're looking for me as a tenor, right? My secundo passaggio, where I cut off into pure head voice, is about at a G sharp 4, right?
But
for a castrato, it would be much higher.
You can't sing at that pitch, can you? No way.
No, I can sing at that pitch, but I cannot do it in my chest voice. There's a difference. I can.
Hang on, forget heads and chest. Let's just think pitch.
Yes.
Could you sing Ave Maria like that fella at that pitch?
Not as well. I could do the techniques that he does. I could do the vibrato. But
Stephen, surely the question is why chop his balls
for
off?
the chest voice, for the chest voice to be positioned higher for the primo.
I'm questioning this. No,
for the primo. Well, basically, what it is the primo, and I'm just talking pure logistics. The primo and secundo. The primo and secundo passaggios are positioned higher. The speaking voice can extend further up the range. When I say the primo passaggio is extended higher, I mean that is where the speaking voice cuts off into the mixed voice, like the rock and roll voice, and then that cuts off into the head voice.
Yeah, but when I go. That fellow I just played you, by the way, is the only.
He's the last living castrato. Yeah, I've heard him before.
The only castrato that's on record. The only recording of a castrato. But when I've asked ChatGPT why did they castrate people, they just say to stop the voice deepening.
Yes, that's true. And what does that translate to?
All right, let me ask.
Okay, well, if for example, Charlie Sparkles and I sing together a lot. I can sing just as high as she can. In fact, I can sing a little bit higher. However, I am using a different register, and it does not sound as pleasing to the ears. I'm using my head voice at the far extent of the head. But think.
I'm suggesting you can't sing at that pitch.
Yes, I can. I just can't sing with my chest voice at that pitch.
No, I don't know about this. I think I'm going to look into this. I'm not so sure.
Well, you can hear the note. You can hear the note he's saying in Ave Maria, and you can hear that I can match the same note he said. Oh.
Hang on.
And it exceeds a C5, right? C5 is the usual top tenor note that you want to be able to hit, sometimes a D5. He could sing, the point of a castrato was that he could sing a C5 or higher sometimes in chest voice, whereas with a tenor, a man with his balls...
Stephen Campbell, 1 second. He's right, people. Stephen Campbell's right. Listen to this. I said to the final boss of culture, ChatGPT, I said, is there anything to do with the chest voice and the head voice in this castrati lark? And it said, yes, Mush. And it does call me Mush because I've got it all personalised, which is quite funny. It's deeply tied to the concepts of the chest and the head voice. And their voices often blurred the line between the two in ways most modern male singers can't do. And that's what Campbell said. It's a round of applause. It says here, because they didn't go through puberty, their vocal cords never thickened, which means the castrati could use the head voice, but with the power of the
chest voice, yes.
which is pretty much what you said. Amazing teaching and learning.
What? Well, you know, I've only been doing this for 20 years, so you know, I'm a bit green, rough around the edges. It's only been 20 years. So.
Well, that's why I checked it, because I never like to be 100%. I've made that mistake as a young man, and one day I thought, you know what? I'll tell you what I'd done. I was in a cafe and I had a bet with a bloke. We were talking about this woman in this film. I went, oh, she's lovely, isn't she? And he went, yeah. I went, what's her name? Selma Hayek. And he went, that ain't her.
I would.
I went, yeah. No, who wouldn't? That snake scene in that Tarantino movie. And I said to him, I said, 100% it is her. He went, 20 quid. I went, all right. I thought, that's an easy 20 quid. Shook on it. Phone out, movie out, wasn't her. And I thought, I was sure it was her. And from that day onwards, I will never be 100% about anything. Even if I think I am, I'll come back to logic and say, don't let your feelings overcome the fact that you do get things wrong. That's amazing.
Well, I'm always enthusiastic about being corrected. I'm never so confident in what I say. I'm never so prideful about my word being final, which my word never is final. I'm always happy for people. If I'm wrong, I want to be proven wrong, you know.
I made a video about exactly that about 3 weeks ago. Never be afraid to say I don't know in a conversation, because that's when you learn. And I've learned from you. Instead of me sitting here and going, no, you're wrong, I thought, let's look into it. And
Household. Well, here's the thing about Household is you had a natural talent for the voice. You had a natural talent. You did. You do, because you don't lose it. I did not. However, I do have 15 years of hours a day practice with the voice. And I can do things that talented people can only imagine. 15 years, hours a day, vocal practice. You can only imagine, from chest voice to mixed voice to head voice, my primo and passaggio and secundo passaggio, all over the shop, isn't it? You have a talent that I never had, because I had to practice mine.
But as with writing, talent can only get you so far. And with writing, talent can actually get in the way.
Talent gets in the way because it makes you arrogant. I was born a natural artist.
He reminds me of Beck. He does look and sound like Beck. He does.
I consider that a compliment.
Yeah, he's a great musician. Oi, Campbell. Charlie Sparkle said you live in a music shop.
Yeah, oh yes, I do.
What, you live above a music shop, or like you just?
No, check this out. American Fender Stratocaster 2012 ukulele, electric.
Hang on, you don't actually sell instruments.
No, she means that I have a collection of musical instruments that is enviable for anyone. Basically, I have musical instruments that span over 100 years.
It's lovely.
You want to see proof? Watch this. Can you see this? You see this old case, this very vintage case? It's
very dark.
This right here is a Magini. Here you go. Here's the light.
Can you play it?
Yeah. Yes.
Go on. Please play a bit of it. Please play the fiddle. Or we have to tune it and all that lark.
No, I keep all my stringed instruments tuned.
Hello, Emma. How are you, love?
Whoa. I cannot play very much, but I don't know how much I can make you hear. Yeah, the redneck.
Put it down. While you're at it. Hello, Toffee. Hello, James. Yeah, that didn't work as well as it could have done, but I appreciate you trying.
I'm not much of a fiddle player, but no, I'm not much of a fiddle player, but I'm a collector of stringed instruments. I like to much more of a singer and a guitar player. It's but here's the thing, I'm always willing to embarrass myself, right? For the sake of the entertainment of the crowd.
Hang on. All right, wait, Stephen, have you got a nice tuned acoustic there? And have you got a song that you wrote that you can play? Not all of it, though, because that drags, but a verse and a chorus.
No,
he's going to do it, people. That takes balls.
So
not strictly an acoustic, but we'll go. We can't hear that.
Okay. Let's see. I have
Hello, JP.
Yeah, I've got plenty of acoustics. But no, I'm a horrible fiddle player, but so on the acoustic.
Don't drown him. We can't hear it for some reason. I think it's the frequency is not picking up in your microphone or something. It just looks like you're playing a silent instrument. Oi, Stephen.
Yeah, there's no point in it.
Thank you for that donation, Dawn. She wants to know what your necklace is.
Oh, this is Saint Hubertus. He's a patron saint of metalworkers, hunters, and mathematicians.
Can you do it up close? Can we see that?
Yeah.
There you go. What is it?
And,
my old man was a foundry worker.
Yeah, hunters and mathematicians.
Stephen, you haven't taken a drink in about 3 minutes. I don't want to ruin your night.
Let me take a drink.
Darling.
Should I take a drink?
Yeah.
All right. Now, so the thing is, I'll send you on Telegram. Let me redeem myself, Chris, if you would.
You haven't unredeemed yourself.
But I am. I'm not a. You know what? I'm not a. I am a sucky fiddle player. I'm learning though, because it's important to learn. And as far as like learning goes and skills and stuff like that, I like to do that. And I think it's important as a musician, as an entertainer, and that's my original like interface with the public is as an entertainer. And I think it's important.
I have a problem with learning scales because I know people who've got their grade 6 and they've been playing their instrument for like 9 years. They can get the dots out and they can play it, just by looking at the dots. But then you say to them, "Can you improvise?" They're like, "Nah." And I'm like,
"Well, I can. I can improvise."
You, but when I was at art school, I'd done a minor in music. And there were people who literally had their ability to improvise trained out.
That's the problem.
Stephen, I need to get some water. Hold the stream for a couple of minutes. Go.
Well, see, that's the problem. That's the problem with classical musicians is that they can't improvise. Another problem with them is they do not tend to remember their songs that they perform. They rely on sheet music. Now, I'm a horrible violinist. And as Dangerfield said, I should quit while I'm ahead. It doesn't really bother me. It's not great. When I'm not horribly drunk, drunkenness doesn't really affect my guitar playing ability that much. But when it comes to the fiddle, oh boy, it sure does make me suck. But I'm just, it's good to not be afraid to embarrass yourself. And as a classical musician, you're afraid of that. But as a rock musician, you're not. And you are okay with improvising. And improvising is what entertains a crowd. You want to be able to get in front of a crowd as a singer or as a guitar player and be able to wing it, because you don't know if in the rock scene you're going to be a little bit tipsy, or the guitar player is going to be tipsy, and you don't know if someone's going to collapse or if something's going to go wrong, and you want to be able to hold the show. And what if you forget the lyrics? You want to be able to do it. But as a rock musician, improvise. Me and my drummer, Chris, since you're back, me and my old drummer used to be able to sit there. We could just start playing, right? And you would swear that we were playing a song that we knew. But in actuality, we were just making stuff up as we went along. But we were so in sync. We could improvise that well together that you would never know it. And that's what live performances are all about. Live performances and the outside of an orchestral situation, live performances, like what I saw in Shit Witch, OMD. When I saw OMD in Shit Witch, they had set off the smoke alarm and had sent all of us outside, and they were able to make a funny story out of it because they were the ones at fault. They were making tea. They had set the smoke alarm off, and all of us got sent outside. But they were able to improvise and make a funny story out of it. And whether you're making a funny story or whether you're making up a new song on the spot, improvisation is the heart of musicianship in popular music.
I haven't got a clue what you're talking about now.
Improvisation is the heart of musicianship when you are performing popular music.
There's a great book by a bloke called Derek Bailey. It might be Derek, might be Dennis. It's called Improvisation. Now, I used to be in a free jazz band. I played trumpet sometimes, and sometimes I played keyboards. And we used to have debates because can you actually improvise?
Mm-hmm.
Is that actually something you can do as a musician? Like, we're getting to grooves. A lot of it was just noise, because free jazz is a lot of noise. But then suddenly the bass guitarist, which was Mumford, would look at the drummer and he'd sort of just go that, and then and then the guitarist, and then he's riffing, and it's like, is this improvising, or are we just playing things we know?
No. Well, it's both. Well, so you start out, if you don't know what else to do, you play riffs that you know. You play melodies that you know. You play da 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 da. You play whatever melody comes to mind, but then after that, you start to groove with the other musician, and in your attempt to gel with the bass player, you'll come up with something novel. And in his attempt to gel with you, he'll come up with something novel. And in the drummer's attempt to hold it all together, he might come up with something novel. And while you all start out with that which you already know and the melodies which you have already practiced and memorized, by the middle of the session, you are coming up with something novel if you are good at improvising.
No, because you're here. Say you're the bass guitarist. You're not just going to do something random. You're thinking, right, okay, I'm going to go bum ba da da ba da 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 ba ba bum ba da ba ba. And although it's improvised in as much as none of the band knew you were going to do that, you didn't prepare that. You don't just do something random. You play something that you know how it's going to sound.
Well, it depends on what.
Is that real? Is that improvisation, or is that just knowing how to play your
Well, there's a
instrument?
restriction. There's a restriction. As the drummer, you can improvise when it comes to the rhythm, and then the rest of the musicians can follow the rhythm. But as
Yeah,
a
but
bass player,
the drums are a classic example, because in the free jazz band I was in, the drummer, you rarely get a drummer holding the beat. It's very much bass drum, ride cymbal, hi-hat and snare, and it's like, if you were really improvising, would you not maybe be in like using a tom instead of the snare?
yes,
And
you would. But it
they
depends
sort
on
of
the
don't, though,
relation.
do they sort
Well,
of don't.
it depends on the relationship of the drummer with the other musicians. My drummer had, because he and I had a very close relationship as musicians, he could start to improvise and I could follow him. And
Sure.
in following him, I would introduce melodic improvisations. Now, as a bass player,
Yeah, but
unless you are given,
but Stephen, you're missing my point. When you say introduce melodic improvisations,
Mhm.
you you you're not, though, are you? You're not just going to play any random notes on your
I
instrument.
am as a guitar. I am as a guitar player.
What, you're going to go
Yes.
beep, no,
Yes, that's right. Yes,
no,
as a
all right,
guitar player.
okay,
As a guitar player, but not
but
as a
wait,
bass player. You're correct. Not as a bass player,
sure.
but as a guitar player, I will, because I am the melodic lead of the
But
instrumentation
here's
in
the
a rock
problem.
band.
But here's the problem, because I obviously know bands, free jazz bands that did do that. The bass player did, the drummer did, they all did. The problem is that music, cheers, that music all sounds the same. Ironically, when everyone let goes of the restraints of the modal or the key system and the time signature system, it ironically all sounds the same. Oh, this is free jazz, just six
In
people
free
playing different
jazz,
songs.
but not in rock. But not in rock. When in the context of white guys in a rock context, then you would be surprised at the things that my drummer and I used to come up with. We would come up with new songs on the spot with odd time signatures that somehow he and I would be in sync with. I would be able.
Can you play peculiar time signatures? Can you handle them?
Yeah. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or nine eighths.
No. ER.
Yeah.
Clap a 7/4. Round and round.
1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 1 and 2 and 3. 7/4 just sounds like 4/4. What you might be thinking of is 7/8. Okay, all right. How about this? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. That's 7/4.
That little cheeky and is giving you the extra note, and I'll tell you why. Because
I added and to all of them. Now, if you're talking
now, you can't just go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 1 and 2.
No, I said Sev. I said Sev. Listen, not 7.
This is how I learned it, and we've done this on this channel so many times. Dave Brubeck, Unsquare Dance.
All right.
Ready? It starts on the offbeat, so you go. That's 1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2 1 2 3, which is the meter, which adds up to 7. Try it. It's fucking hard.
1 2 1 2 1 2 3 1 2 1 2.
So the first beat is silent. So you sort of go. I'll speed it up. So
I got you. No.
Try
I've
it.
got you. Watch.
Hang on.
Uh, uh, uh,
Slow.
uh, 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 uh,
Hang on. Slow down.
uh, 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 uh,
Nailed it. Amazing.
Yeah.
Let's listen to a bit of it. That was amazing.
Said, said, yeah.
Stephen, do you know the Mahavishnu Orchestra of John McLaughlin, lead guitar, Billy Cobham on drums?
Maybe.
So what they'll do is Billy Cobham will be playing like a 9/8.
Yeah. Which is
McLaughlin's
1
playing-
and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 5, 1 and that's a 9/8.
4.
That's a sorry, that's a 9/8. That's a 9/8. A 7/8 would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and now and a 5/8 and a 5/8 would be 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3. A 7/8 again would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and so on.
Listen to a bit of Billy Cobham. This is the Mahavishnu Orchestra. The point I'm making is they all play in different time signatures.
Right.
They all come in like every sort of 24th beat or something. It's next level. Check this out. This is
all right.
Just listen to Billy Cobham's improvised opening drums. I can't play a lot of it, people, because I'll get yeeted. But check this out. I'll mute myself.
I'm down. I'm down. That's great, man. Yeah, dude.
Not the one I wanted to play though. Hang on. I want to play that little. It's lovely.
Yeah, 7/8. Yeah.
I think it is. You might. Is the actual weird version with the clapping, but you've got the bass playing the offbeat, so it's lovely. Here we go. You
can play. You can play the offbeat while still maintaining the same time signature.
Sure. It's easier to count when you can hear it. So check this out. Here we go.
Fair enough.
Dave Brubeck, Unsquare Dance.
All right.
Yeah, man. Oh, lovely.
There's a lot of great songs in 7/8. Even mainstream rock songs like The Ocean. Singing in the sunshine, laughing in the rain.
I don't know it. I don't know that song at all. It's very rare to hear,
Led Zeppelin, Houses of the Holy.
Yeah, but they had the musicianship. Pop music is kind of it's sort of just forward out, didn't it? And
yeah, well, pop music is forward out, but a lot of the rock bands and especially the jazz bands, but even some of the rock bands, like Led Zeppelin, would do 7/8. You've never heard the ocean singing in the sunshine, laughing in the rain. What's got the moonshine, laughing in the brain? Got no time to pack my bags. My foot's outside the door.
My girlfriend popped her head round the corner and went, "Can you turn it down a bit?"
I know.
Same band, Stephen, Mad Vision Orchestra. I'll try and get away with playing at least to a bit of McLaughlin's solo because it's fucking beautiful. Yeah,
Go ahead.
It out. I won't play any other music, but check this out.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It's from the album Birds of Fire. I'm going to mute myself. Here we go. I think that's probably the limit I can get away with. I just want you to hear his little run he comes up with here. Hang on, a couple more seconds. Couple more seconds, Stephen. Well, I've either been yeeted. Have I been yeeted?
I don't think so, but I know what you're going for, and yeah, I appreciate it. Can you hear me all right? I assume you can hear me all right.
So you can still hear me, Dawn? Young Kai Stevens is on the firm. I've got. It might. Stevens gone and the music's gone. I can't believe there's a few people in the chat. No way. Daniel says that the Celestial. Oh, it's a great track. Celestial Terrestrial Commuters is my fave from that album. It's a great album, Birds of Fire. I don't remember that track by name, to be honest with you, but I will know it because I know the album.
What album is that from exactly?
I'm not a fan of the Man Vision Orchestra. It's not for everyone.
Hey, that's that. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Dangerfield?
It's weird, huh?
Can you hear me?
Stop that. Or maybe.
Can you hear me?
He's good value tonight this morning, though, isn't he? Old Stephen Campbell.
Can you hear me?
I've got to press a few buttons to get it back here. Oh, hang on, here he is.
Can you hear me?
Because down here I can still see him.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Maybe I have. Everything's right my end. I'll tell you what, I'll remove him and then see if I can add him.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stephen Campbell, rest in peace. He looks like he's fallen over and hit his head on a guitar or something. What a way to go. But it was lovely with the Man Vishnu Orchestra. I've kicked him out. He can maybe come back a bit later. That was a weird though, wasn't it? 49 people in the Mad Music Show. I'm just going to check the other donation settings to see if anyone has donated over there. I do like to give them their flowers. That's a new saying I'm hearing. Oh, anyone here into football? Nate, you must have seen it on all the like football channels. They're like, well, no, well, for sure, Gabriel, I think he needs to be given his flowers for his performance this season. I've never heard that before. I didn't hear that like 2 seasons ago. That's a new thing. Mr. Benton's on the firm. He's still there. He's not here now because I chucked him out, but has he still got the link to come in? I'll put the link back in. Actually, Stephen, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to see if young Kai wants to come in because Toffee says this is making me want to dig out all my S Club 7 CDs. People get funny about music they don't understand. I know that one hurts people. This is the best part of the show. He was fine my end. Well, look, yeah. Well, actually, Stephen Campbell, if you're watching, I've just put the link back in the chat. So come back in. I don't know what happened. So that link is for Stephen Campbell. Extrapolation is excellent. Yeah, it's a great tune. Great tune. Good call, Pags. I bet it sounds beautiful on your system. Oh, there you go. And Daniel and Pags, they know their extrapolation. We might have to have a bit of that actually because the intro's beautiful. Oh, no, there's something wrong with my computer, people. I'm being told. Let me do a little speed test. It's saying I'm not connected to the internet. Can you see me, people? Bye. You were excellent, Stephen. You really were. It was fantastic having you on. I think it ended in a natural way. But I am having problems. I've tried to put YouTube on over here. You're cutting off, Dangerfield. There's certainly something going wrong. I don't know what's happening. Historical doppelganger makes a great point. Everything is becoming feminized. A bouquet of flowers are playing football. I know there's a lot of amateur dramatics on the field these days. Yeah, it's awful. No, he deserves his flowers. No, he doesn't. Imagine that. Imagine winning the league with like the best free kick from 35 yards out, and someone says, "Oh, he really deserves his flowers." Someone said that about me. I'd go back in time. I'd pull that ball out of that net, and I'd go, "I don't want your damn flowers. I like flowers and that, but not like you say, historical doppelganger. Not on a football pitch." Let me do a little speed test, people. Everyone uses that Ookla one, don't they? Speed test. Hang on. Yeah, that's all right. If it tastes like shit, you know it's going to work. Now look at that, man. 265 megabytes per second. That's absolutely smashing it. 268. Oi, between, look at that. 300 on the upload. Oi, my between you and me, my Cambodian internet service provider, and that's the kind of speeds I've got, which is pretty good, isn't it? That's pretty good, isn't it? 300 Mbps. They forgot to charge me for 4 years, and it's quite expensive. Well, it's certainly more expensive than 30 Mbps. And I've just kept worrying that one day they're going to go, you haven't paid for 4 years. And I got an email from them the other day. I was like, oh, bollocks. And it said, oh, it's time for you to pay for your yearly subscription. And it's like about $400. Nothing wrong with computers when they go a little bit wrong. But I don't know what's going on here. Anyway, people, look, I promised my missus I was going to do about half hour because of the power cut. We've reached an hour and a half. I might do a little bit more, especially since Dave's Waffle House has just sent $1.99. How are you, Dave? Thank you for that. I'll put it on the screen a little bit longer. I know the glory is the story. Vorpalanville is also here, dropping in a quick lull. Yeah, we can get Starlink, which might be saving my life because although my missus says that there's Wi-Fi out in the provinces, I simply don't believe her. I think that's like 400 a month though. So this brings me nicely to my. Oh, hang on a minute. Ludwig's dropped a big 20. Ludwig, are you already on the Scrubs wall? Because 20 quid will get you on there. Are you already on it? Let's have a look. Ludwig, do you want to go on the Scrubs wall? I'm etching the names of all the Scrubs that have put 20 quid in on the Scrubs wall. And if you've donated it anyway, I'll stay for a bit longer. I've just had 2 donations. It seems a bit off to do the off now. Ludwig, do you want to go on the Scrubs wall? I wouldn't want to etch your name. It'd be quite cool though. Like when I'm dead and then all my writing gets discovered and I'm like a legend, when they do tours of my house out in the provinces among the tarantulas and snakes, you'll have your name on that. Where is Ludwig gone? Hello? A bit of string in a plastic cup. Ludwig, let me know and I'll put you on the wall. I can do it live now. I've got the pen at the ready. I don't think you're already on it. No, you're not. So anyway, people, I had a scrub come out here, people. I'm not going to say who it was. It's up to him to explain. I went out and we had did we eat or did we just have a cup of tea? Oh, no, we had some food. And he had the maddest time. Like he threw himself into the Cambodian experience, and trust me, he got it. Every day he'd send me another message that was just, oh dear. It was amazing. Ludwig, are you scratching your head deciding whether you want to be on the Scrubs wall, or are you just going to tell me? Hello, Casa calling. Result, say nothing moving forward. Add property in Bow, Devon, where Southwest Water never sent me a bill for 3 years or so. Yeah, lovely. It's good, isn't it? Sometimes it works. Years ago, there was a magazine for magicians, creatively called Abracadabra. And I was well into conjuring as a kid. I'm actually making a video about conjuring because Warren Smith, the Secret Secular Society, has, and I've got a lot I can add to it, so I'm going to do that. I might do that later today, actually. But this magazine Abracadabra, I wanted to subscribe, and it was something like 20 quid a year, which was a lot of money in like 1983 to sort of like a 10-year-old. But I think my mum got it for my birthday. I got that magazine for 10 years. I got it to the point where I was well past conjuring. It used to come through the door and I'd just laugh at it. Like you'd open it up and it'd have things like the classic Zigzag Lady and like a drawing, a really, really bad drawing of a woman in like 3 boxes, like looking like me and my mates, we used to chop it all up and like make new magazines out of it using all their very strange wordings. The old SA around magic kind of took the edge off it, let's be honest. Where's Ludwig? You've got to take that opportunity up, surely, to the Lord. I don't know. Can anyone tell me if Ludwig wants to go on the Scrubs wall or not. Have I missed it? Well, that's on you, Ludwig. You'll have to let me know. Oh, I tell you what, people. I will tell you what. So I love the classic Thai dish. I think I told you this last week. Sticky rice and mango with coconut sauce and fried mung beans on top. And my missus learned how to make it. It's a proper piss about as well. Soak the rice for 24 hours. Do this, steam it, turn it. Do sticky rice. You can't just put it in a pan and boil it. It's all you need a bamboo steamer. She went and bought one. Learned how to do the mung beans. Her one is the best one I've ever had. And any day I'll say, can you do me a mango and sticky rice? And she's already prepped this. She's already had the sticky rice soaking just in case I wanted one. I mean, she's such a ridiculous keeper just on that alone. Dawn Browning drops a Lady Godiva. Etch my name next to our Sarah. That's a great call. Are you on it? I think you are. Where are you? John Paul Jetland. You don't seem to be on the wall, Dawn Browning. Did I not put you on it or something? I think I might have missed a few. You've donated enough over the years, Dawn Browning. You are the only ranking member here as well, so I'll do that. Actually, I'll put Dawn and Sarah. I can't do that for everyone else, people. This is a grift, remember. Dawn, Sarah. That's a lovely, lovely, lovely thing to do, actually, Dawn. Wasn't that mad? For people who don't know, we used to have a member, an OG scrub called Sarah. Beautiful woman, had her own upholstery business. She struggled a bit with the booze and the drugs, like most scrubs have in some way or another themselves, a family member. And then a few scrubs met up and went on a camping visit. And that was her last day on the planet. Me and her and other scrubs used to talk off stream, so to speak. She was a lovely woman, had a lovely big family. Her daughter came out here with her mate. That was an interesting night. That was a very interesting night, actually. I'll do that, Dawn. That's a lovely thought. Really lovely thought. Right, what am I doing here? Hang on a minute. Ludwig's dropped another 20 in. Lovely to catch a bit of live scrubbage. Can I have a brick with Gertrude on it? He's paid a naughty 40. You can have whatever you want. I'll do a little drawing if you want for $40. You certainly can. Ludwig wants Gertrude. Yeah, a tribute to both the Scrubs and Charlie and David. I like that. I mean, look at it, people. Look at it taking shape. Less a wall, more like a dam. More like a dam to keep the others out. Nice one, Ludwig. Very kind. You have between about three of you just managed to. I've got it wrong, haven't I? I don't know what I'm talking about. This was only going to be a 30-second stream. All right, so this is what I wanted to tell you. Thank you for that little flurry of donations. Why isn't Buy Me a Coffee working? Just check over there. So this is why. So look, I know you've heard this a lot, but let me tell you again. My other novel, the one I've been going on about for 10 years, it's finished. It's done. You know, well, when's your novel going to be finished? Done. But it needs an editor. It really does. It's about 800 pages, and it needs to really be probably about 500 or 600. I need an editor. I had one, but he had an heart attack. Then he got back on the piss. Then he pretended he hadn't got back on the piss. I was paying him for work, and he was doing the work, and we built up a really good relationship, and his help was really helpful. But when it comes to the crunch, and I actually needed him to do, line edits, continuity edits, copy edits, proofread, just too pissed. But that's done. So I thought the other week, about 5-6 weeks ago, I thought, I'm going to write a short story about a 14-year-old in 1986. What, like I was in 1986? A couple of 1,000 words, put it on my Substack. That was my idea. 1,000 words. Well, not like a got my quill out. 2,000 words, 5,000 words, 10,000, 20, 40. It's now 65,000. No, it's about 67,000 words. It's nearly finished. I've only got about 5 scenes. It's a journal. And I say journal, not diary, because it's not a daily entry, because that's just like, what are you meant to do every day? Today, clean the fish tank. Actually, I might put that in. But I honestly think that this is sellable. I think that I can sell this. And I've never thought that about anything I've written. I mean, my first novel was in Waterstones and Borders both stocked it, but I was 23, I wasn't an avant-garde writer then. I hadn't corrupted my lyrical abilities. But this teenage journal, it's just a sellable novel. And I'm not going low either. I'm not going in for one of these little small publishers that are going to knock out 2,000 copies. I'm going for the big guns. I'm going to get hold of my old literary agent. My old literary agent said, he said, we could have made a lot of money together, me and you. He said, but your drug problems, he said, when you've sorted them out, get back to me. So 30 years later, I'm going to contact him and lie and say we're all clear. But no, man, I'm so happy, so excited, so impressed. However, working all day, writing all night has absolutely collapsed me. Me and my missus, we're passing like ships in the night at the moment. Like I'll crawl into bed about 5 a.m. That wakes her up. So she tries to get back to sleep for about an hour, but she can't. So she gets up. And I don't need to explain the rest of that story to her. When I wake up, she then goes to sleep. But she knows what it's like living with Mariah. She's been there before. We've been together over 7 years. It's incredible. Naughty G, did I say thank you for that? Why Naughty G? Oh, actually, that story is not worth going into at all. Young Kai Stevens, you want to come on for a little chat? Stephen Campbell, if you are still alive, thanks for coming on, man. That was a great chat. That was really exciting, and I learned something. The Gilded Book with my real house. I don't know where it went. I think I feel it ran out of pages, and I keep them around for a while for passwords and that, and then they get put in a box, and the missus tidies up. This one doesn't quite do it. It's the same dimensions, but it doesn't do my real house. Good call, though, Pags. Is Kai Stevens still here? Hang on a minute. Someone's telling me to read the super chat that I didn't obviously read properly. Packers on the firm, enjoying being a viewer. Dawn Brown in and said, Kai. No, there are reasons, though, Otto. You'll find out in time. Don't worry. It's nothing hideous. It's not like I need to have a turkey baster insemination or anything. It's just practicalities. Like we've got to build a house, which costs money. Get her up the duff. Not afford to be able to build the house. No, it's just not for me. That's not for me. I want that. I want that baby, and then the next two to be born into their house. I can't bring a baby up here. You can't bring a baby up in a red light district. You can't. I live right in the centre of the city. It's not dangerous, but it's on top. Hang on, what's old Ludwig's trying to tell me something. My reading window. Hang on. Let me put this onto my bigger monitor, and I might be able to actually read what people are saying. Right, what's Ludwig say? Ben Tonioni. Burns said, "I've come over from Dave's Waffle House." What is Dave streaming like now? Did I stream cut the best stream on the internet? That's a massive apology. Well, that's what I think I might end up having to do, Charlie. I mean, I don't believe my missus when she says there's Wi-Fi in the province. I mean, they haven't even got water. Charlie says, back to my query, best to maximise the percentage. The best one is buy me a coffee. It's at the top of the YouTube chat. And you get a personal video, which is, that's the real value. You get a 30-second video of me going, most of them are me complaining that I've tried to record the video 7 times, but it hasn't uploaded. What did Ludwig say? He said something about read. Hang on a minute, the donations are flooding in. It's like the COVID era all over again. What's going on? Right, Ludwig said, read it. Lovely to catch up with a bit of live scrubbage. Can I have a brick with Gertrude on it? Cheers then. Right, so we have got that right. Yes, you can, Ludwig. What's happened there? Something else has gone wrong. Right, now, did Ludwig say something else? Oh, yeah, sorry, because I didn't read the whole thing. That's what you're saying. So when I said, oh, do you want Ludwig on it? You're like, Gertrude, you muppet. It's in the message. Okay, I've worked out all what's happening. There you go. See you later, Ludwig. I bet he's gone thinking, 20 quid, he didn't even read it. Right, hang on a minute. Scroll down. Zeitgeist, long time no see, which is weird for a zeitgeist because in many ways they're always there. A bullseye, not having this lack of notice stream. I hope this will cover my spot on the wall. Oh, without a doubt. You can have a fucking painting if you want. What zeitgeist? Do you want zeitgeist? Thank you very much, obviously. Do you want zeitgeist? Is that what you want written? Let me know. You don't have to pay, obviously. Let me know in the chat what you want me to put on your brick. I keep saying bricks. It won't be a brick house. But what I might do is like make like a little English bit of the wall, like with old, like, you know, I'm lying as if I'm going to get it together to make a stencil and make brick. This is going to end up just marker pen, John. It won't. I'd be surprised if I didn't do it in some kind of outdoor applique. For sure. Right, I'm just going to scan. Zeitgeist, thank you, mate. Very generous. I'm going to scan down to see what you actually want. Hello, Rollo. Going back to Charlie, the link is at the top of the YouTube one. Buy me a coffee is the best one for me getting the biggest percentage. That's the message you sent about an hour ago, isn't it? We finally got there. Sick Buffalo Wi-Fi. There you go. That doesn't matter, Rollo. It's always lovely to see you. Sally from Dartford, I was thinking about you the other day. I actually was thinking about you. Not stuff that I want to broadcast over the internet, but lovely to see you there. Hello, Sal. Lovely. Your name on a great... All right, nice one, Zeitgeist. I'll put that on the Scrubs wall right now. That's amazing. Just make sure I spell it right. This could get really out of hand, couldn't it? Because if that house takes 2 years to build and there's like about 500 people, my missus ain't going to be happy. She'll be there with her trowel spade. And I'll be there with my Dremel. Zai. I'm busy. Nice one, guys. Great stuff. Dottie wants to know if Buy Me a Coffee has come through. Let me have a look. I don't know how quickly they come through, but you'll definitely know because you'll get a video reply. But I'll keep updating it, Dottie, while I'm streaming. Yeah, it has. It absolutely has. It says it here. Dottie bought a future. Nice one, Dottie. Great stuff. You'll get a video reply from me later. After this stream, I'll record it. Maybe roof tiles. You know I love this country, Zeitgeist, but I don't know about getting on the roof of an house built by Cambodia. Yeah, look, Dottie, I'll show you. There you go. You've got to be a bit tactical with the old camera when you're moving it around. Don't want you to see the PVC dolphin costume that's slowly deflating in the corner. That tickled me no end. Yeah, that's what it. Well, it's Buy Me a Coffee, but when you sign up, you get to change. If you don't want coffee, you can change it to like beer or cake. So my hilarious take was future. So you buy me a future. Yeah, I don't know, man. But there you go, Charlie. Sheila says it was about my Dottie on your brick. Steady. It's a bit forward. It's a bit early for that kind of stuff, young Dottie. Let me have a look. All right. I'll have a look at that and I'll get that video sorted for you, young Dottie. People, by the way, Sheila's Dot wants to be known as Dottie. I don't know why she hasn't changed her name. Maybe she doesn't want to, but she's Dottie from now on. Dottie. Look at that. And there you go. That's the simple logic of someone who knows how to think. This is why my life hasn't been as perhaps easy as it could have been. Zeitgeist said, why don't you put them on the roof tiles rather than if you haven't got bricks, if it's not built with bricks? And I said, I don't fancy getting on the roof of a building put together by Bodian builders. Zeitgeist says, write it on the tiles before they put them on the roof. That makes sense, doesn't it? And I can do that. I expect by the time I'm there, right, this is my plan, right? This is I'm not even joking. This is how, it's a bit touch and go, to be honest with you. I am going to set, my business is struggling. All e-commerce is struggling. Why? Well, unless you're selling software. But why? If you're selling commodities, consumer durables, Amazon, Temu, AliExpress, eBay, they you know, the supermarket comes to town, all the independents disappear. I'm having to do twice as much work to earn about a third of the amount of money that I used to. And I've been doing it 20 years. I was speaking to a writer friend of mine the other day, and he went, give it up. He went, just drop it out. He said, then you'll have to earn a living as a writer. He said, you see how fucking hard you start working then. If I was on my own, I'd probably do that, but I can't risk that with the missus. I just can't do that to her, because if I ended up skint, I'd build a house on an alley somewhere and just be homeless, homeless Chris in Cambodia. But I honestly think that I'm going to sell this novel I've written. It's very commercial. That doesn't make it shit, by the way. It just means it's not the unreadable, avant-garde, postmodern nonsense that the other 800-page one is. But if I can sell that, the idea is I will get out of that business and then wake up, write for 5 hours, 4 or 5 hours. You know, I'll find my migraine limit, you know, and then just get in the old hammock for the rest of the day. The missus looks after the kids. That's not even a joke. That's what they do. I tell you what, when you see blokes over here try and help out with the kids, the women get shitty about it. They think it makes men look feminine. They're like, no, your job is to earn money. They're wiping kids' asses. Although they don't do that anyway. In the provinces, they don't even give the kids nappies. When the kids have a shit or something, they just hose them down. They soon learn how to use a potty in a toilet, I tell you. Packer said, buy me a fuchsia. I haven't, Otto. They banned me. I had the, PayPal Me, isn't it? I had one of them long time ago, about 5 years ago, and one of those people just got hold of PayPal and went, he says awful things about other people invading other people's countries. And I just got an email from him saying, nah, you ain't allowed. No comeback, no appeal, no way of talking to him. They just took the word of someone, gone. Shocking, huh? Really shocking. How are you, Packer? Anyway, what's it like being on the other side of the fence? But no, Otto, unfortunately not. Well, there you go, Charlie. It's more of an investment. JP. A beer for £5. Out here, you could get 2 old fashions and a nice cold one for a £5. Actually, that's £5 English pounds. No, you'll have trouble walking home after a £5. It's cheap as chips out here, mate. If anyone wants to come out here, just let me know. I think about 20 scrubs have come out here. There's been a couple of people who ain't scrubs as such, but they know the channel and they've contacted me and said, I'm coming out. Can you help us with an hotel or, what area should I go to? And I've caught up with them for a cup of tea or something. And I have to say, nearly all of them have gone well. There've been a couple that were a bit of a, what would the word be? Awful. Demanding. There have been a couple that regrettable. No, to be honest with you, they've all been very nice actually, because you scratch the surface on any human. If you can just get people to go a little bit deeper and then a little bit deeper, they're interesting because people are. They really are. Right, people, I'm just about to hit the 2 hours, and it is Sunday, and I was writing all day and all night yesterday, and there's certainly differences happening for sure, but it's not dead. It's just, I don't want to talk about work. I've just been talking about it for half hour. JP mentions it. Come on, John, I don't want to talk about work. I can hear the missus cooking, so she's going to serve up. She's serving up some battered butterfly prawns and fried rice, home cooked as well, no fucking processed junk, and it smells amazing. And hello, love. How's food? Are you what? Fried rice and butterfly prawn. Barbecue, huh? Lovely. Yeah. When she went to the province for 3 days, I lived on cornflakes. Packer said, Chris. Packer said it seems a little bit odd. Do you want to come on? Go on here. I'll put the invite in. I ain't got long left. I'll tell you what, I need a wee and the food's nearly ready. And I said to Mrs., I'm only going to do half hour. Yeah, I'll come in. If you want to come in, Packer, you're cool. If you're happy out there, stay out there. Out in the cold, the digital cold. Nate wants to see a bit of Nam. You know that northern Vietnam, or what we could call the Viet Cong. It's cold up there. It's cold. I know so many people who've gone on holiday. This is what happened with Charlie, Stephen Campbell, by the way. I can see his buffering, but there's no packer. Can you lot see Packer? There he is. There's the old boy. Hello, mate. Oi, but Nate, I've had many friends. I say many, but like 3 or 4 who've said, "Oh, I'm going to Vietnam for holiday. I'm going to Da Nang," and I'm like, "Are you sure you want to go to Da Nang?" And like they get there and there's photos of them with like woolly hats on and scarves. I'm sitting there stark bollock. I've got a crammer on going, yeah, I don't know why you wanted to go to the Arctic for holiday. Yeah, so I'm sure you've had a good look around, Nate, but make sure you go south. You want to get yourself down to Ho Chi Minh or Saigon, same place, depending where you stand politically. I go out there to see Hugh occasionally, but I don't like it. The food in Vietnam is the best in Southeast Asia, without a doubt. The price of it, the quality of it, the ease of it. Like, you can just get the most incredible food with like freshly cooked baguettes. There's a big French influence. Packer's gone. Big French influence in Southeast Asia, because obviously they colonised it for 100 odd years ago. There's loads of French architecture in Phnom Penh. But you can't. It's so hard to move about. Like it's gridlocked. The traffic's always gridlocked. Our hotel, he's back again. Our hotel was about 100 meters from all the lovely restaurants, which are just outdoors, sitting on milk crates or upturned buckets. But the food's like, is just incredible. And you can, a couple of beers, 4 of you eating. You're there for like an hour. Bill, $20. What, 4 people, 2 pints each. A couple of different dishes each. $20, lovely. I'll see you tomorrow. But that 100 meters will take you 20 minutes in a taxi, just sitting there going, mate, can you put the aircon on? He's like, no, too expensive. How are you, Picard?
I'm all good, Chris. I'm very hungover.
Oh, you know what? I actually said to someone, I think I did, or did I say it to your missus in the last email? I usually drop in that joke if he's not too hungover. So you had a. I thought you. No, you haven't up. You didn't give up drinking, did you? You give up going to the boozer. Was that right?
Yeah, I had 10 of these little bottles of what is it? Fireball last night.
Nitrate. What is it?
It's Fireball. Cinnamon whiskey. There were 10 bottles in there last night, and I've had 8.
When I went to Thailand on my own about a year ago now, it must have been. I'll see some we'll call her an old friend, shall we? An old friend of mine with her new friend. But he didn't know that me and her used to be friends, right? And every time he turns his back, I'm going like this. And he's just being an arsehole. And I'd done a whole bottle of that Fireball. I'd never had it before. And I was like, oh, this is nice. This is like fucking, it's like sweet, isn't it? Like cinnamon whiskey. But it's more cinnamon than whiskey. And halfway through that bottle, he caught onto it and he went fucking mad. And I called his bluff. Like, he's only like 32. And I'm like, at this point, 3/4 of a bottle of whiskey down, barely able to talk, let alone walk. And he was screaming at me, shouting at me, and like, because someone, it all just come out. And I went, listen, I'm here on holiday. I'm trying to have a drink. And I was still giggling. He was going, Packer's gone. I'll tell the rest of you. He was going, you're a piss taker. You are. You're one of. I know people like you. You're a piss taker. He went, earlier on, I told you I was a rapper. And you asked me to rap. And when I started rapping, you started laughing. I said, yeah, but you were rapping. They wouldn't laugh. And then I said, look, should we just have a fight and get it over with? And he looked at me, and I was just thinking, please say no. Please let this have worked. Please. I said, because I just want to have a drink, and we can sort it out. Look, we can do it right there. And I'm just looking him in the eyes. And he went, no. He said, there's no need for that. He said, let's just all calm down. I thought, thank fuck for that. He would have kicked the shit out of me. But it worked. So, you know. Well, Packer, it's lovely to see you, but I'm off. But not quite off. Talk to me. Why did you do 8 of those last night? For the same reason I've done a bottle, because they're really nice to drink.
Yeah, it's a bit like that. I was on 42s last night.
You're on 42s what? Peanuts?
Show.
Oh, okay. Right.
Put the world to
How
rights.
did it go? I've seen you on there with your talking and stuff, like a different bloke. What's going on there? Do you save all your words for 42 show?
Have you any idea how difficult it is to get a word in with you?
Yeah.
When you get talking.
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I like, you ask me the occasional question, and that's fine. But yeah, like,
I try not to.
You'll be talking, and I'll think of something. And by the time I've got an opportunity to get it in, you've changed subject 3 times.
Yeah, no, but if it's any consolation, I suffer through that as well, because I'm trying to answer my own questions, and I'm talking about rounders, and before I've answered the question, it's Van Gogh or something. And
check Dawn's chat.
John Palmer has dropped a buy me a future. He says, Sunday fun day. Got to sort some things out of my dad. See you later. Look after yourself, JP. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Don't forget to tell your father you love him. Please do that today. I've been writing a lot about that in this new novel, because because my old man's still alive in the novel. Check out this lovely little moment. Spoiler alert. There's a character in the book called Church Adrian, because he goes to church. And you had kids at school like that. If they done something, they were called that, but never to their face. Like Welsh Steve we had. But no one ever said, hello, Welsh Steve. But when you talked about him, it was always Welsh Steve. Well, we had Church Adrian. And this is a true story, and it's brutal. Hang on, the missus wants me. 1 second, people. She's more important. Yes, my love. Thank you. She wanted to towel moi. That's 1 kiss. Now, Church Adrian found a pack of snouts in his dad's office. And he thought, and his dad was quite high up in the Pentecostal church. And Church Adrian took a cigarette out, went round the back of the shed in the garden, lit it up and started smoking it. His dad found it. His dad found him. His dad went mad at him. But Church Adrian knew that they were his old man's snout, and he thought, you fucking hypocrite. He didn't say that. But then the old man's giving it that Jesus died for your sins, and here you are smoking cigarettes. And Church Adrian said to him, and I've always used this since, he said, well, if he died for my sins, it doesn't matter, does it? And his dad went whack. And, wow, totally out of the blue, slapped him around the head. Anyway, very tense around the house for about a week. Mother and sister go out shopping. So it's just him and his dad. And his dad goes to him, fancy a smoke? And he's like, yeah, all right. So they go in the garden, get a couple of deck chairs out. And his dad gives him a snout. He has one. They both light up. And his dad says, listen, I'm sorry about that the other day. I lost my temper. It won't happen again. It hasn't happened before. And then he started telling him about his upbringing and his dad. This is all true. This isn't just it's in the novel, but this is all true. Church Adrian told me. And his old man was a drunk, and he was an aggressive drunk and all this stuff. And his dad said to Church Adrian, he said, what did you think? Well, what do you think about it all? And he said, well, I just think after you hit me, you're like a stranger to me. And his old man started crying. And he said, I know exactly how you feel. That's fucking harsh, man. It's hard, sons and fathers when it's dysfunctional. Because he knew he had the same with his dad. He was just a stranger, not someone he knew. How well do you get on with your old man?
I get on with my dad well. I got on with both my parents well. Didn't get on with them particularly well when I was a kid.
That's kind of normal, though, isn't it? When did you start getting on with him? When you became a man, like early 20s or something? Was there like a turning point of some sort?
When I left home.
When you fucked off, he was, oh, thank God, I like him now. Now he's not.
No, sorry, I'll tell you that. With my mum when I left home, with my dad when I was about 16, but between the ages of about 5 and 16, my dad didn't even talk to us boys.
Yeah. He
was either at work or in the chair, not wanting to be bothered. Yeah, unless we were doing something like going somewhere on holiday or whatever, then he was present. But kind of,
and that will no doubt correspond to experiences with his father. I'd suggest that it usually does. Like my mother. Yeah, there you go. Didn't know how to talk to you because he didn't have his old man talk to him. He didn't know how to do it. Maybe. My mother was brought up by 2 alcoholics. My mother was an alcoholic, functioning. She didn't have a drink till like 5 o'clock, but every night 5 o'clock, sometimes 4, sometimes 3. If it was a sons and daughters special, she'd pop open a Chardonnay. But I'd say to my mum, and this was until like a week before she died. I'd say, "How are you, Mum?" And she'd go, "I'm fine." Why? Like as if asking her a question, like as if it was an interrogation. Are you all right, Mum? Yeah. Why wouldn't I be? Okay. Yeah, that's fucking brutal. Okay. Because she didn't know, because her parents just ignored her. They never showed her any love. So where was she meant to learn it from? Sons and daughters. If you're still lingering, John Palmer, thanks for that buying me a future. That's lovely.
Dawn's put in the chat. Apparently, I fell off a chair last night. I don't remember doing this. So I got very. No.
Oh, hang on. Why has entropy stopped? What the fuck is that happening on it? Sorry, people. Hang on. I've just put 2 and 2 together. Very simple stuff. So not only did you get shit-faced last night, but you were live on 42's stream. I've only just realised.
Oh yeah, no, and it gets better than that. I then went on another stream.
When you say better,
apparently I fell off my chair, but I don't remember.
So what was the other stream afterwards? I might have a look at these later.
It's called Smoke Steve's International Pub. Well, it's funny because I just had a quick look at it, and Plastic African was on there.
And you didn't even know?
No, so I jumped on because he was on there.
Oh, okay, you did. So hang on. Were you absolutely pissed last night?
Oh, you wouldn't believe it. Yeah, I passed out at some point.
Live on 42 stream, you just done a danger field.
Not 42's, Smoke Steve's.
Okay, I don't know that stream.
Yeah, it's a lovely bloke.
I didn't say he wasn't. So what's your hangover like? What is it? Is it? It's gone.
Yeah.
Or rotten. Gone.
Gone. I haven't particularly got a hangover.
You said you were hungover about 5 minutes ago. I was talking to me. Just cleared that up.
Rough.
So yes.
Well, I felt rough when I got up. Yeah, but I'm all right now. I think. Yeah.
Okay. Did you have some meat for breakfast?
I haven't had anything yet.
You haven't eaten. That'll probably worth doing, isn't it? What are you eating today? Mousecat said that's dangerous. Hello, Mousecat.
What's dangerous?
Oh, here we go. Dawn Browning. Is that the name of the channel, Packer? Smoke Steve's International Pub. All right, I'll have a look at that. I don't know. Something's dangerous. What, not eating or passing out when drinking? Talking to Packer? Going on 2 streams? I reckon that's what he means. Going on streams when you're drunk. We had a lovely chat with Mousecat the other week, though, didn't we?
Yeah, well, you know me, Steve. I live on the edge.
Yeah, well, that's what they call you, don't they? Not like as in the U2 guitarist. They call me the centre. I'm going now, Packer, because I've done 2.25 hours, and I check this out. Hang on. So my missus, and all Cambodians do it. They light their barbecues and their fires using plastic drinking straws. It's a technique they've all somehow, I don't know how they've all learned it, but they all do it. They get a lighter, they light it, the black smoke comes out the end and into her face. Oh, it's all coming in the house now. I don't know if you can see. Can you see the smoke? No, you won't be able to see the smoke. And I said to her, love, you know you can get these little things called fire lighters. And I showed her them online, and she went, nah, can't get them. I haven't got them. I went, don't be silly. Got on the scooter, 2 hours, going to every supermarket in town. No one's got them. And then I talked to one of my tuk-tuk driver mates. Oi, love, what are they called? Those, darling? Yeah. Rob on. Yeah. Can you on chung ni ayong? Yeah. What are they called? Dumpling. Dumpling. You using dumpling? Yeah. Yeah? Yeah. You lie? Hey, darling, you need to bang, bang, bang. Pang, pang, pang. I love you. I love you. Good. Right, black and white. Right, so he said to me, nah, he went, go to the market. He didn't, he went, Dabsa. That means go market. Literally go market. Cambodian, well, Khmer doesn't have all the little words in between. Like, you should go to the market. No, it's just Dabsa, go market. Dabsa ding dong pring. Go market, buy dong pring. And I'm like, dong pring. I'm like, you sure you know what I want? And I said, you light it, make fire. And he went, yeah, Dabsa, ding dong pring. So I've gone to the market and I've just walked up to anyone and went, Knyom chung ding dong pring. And she went, la, 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 la. Woman come out of a bag. They look like, oh, what are they? You know the stuff they make itching powder out of? Horse chestnuts, not conkers, the other ones. They're like a weird half moon shape. They scrape the insides of them out to make itching powder. Anyway, it looked, hang on, darling, give me a dumpling. Probon, I like Knyom, moi dumpling. Yeah. Chamdik. Yeah. Knyom up chamdik. There you go. Back on. And she gives me a bag of these. Look at that. Packer, can you at least pretend? She gives me a bag of these. And that, when you hit that with like a mortar or a pestle, I thought I had the strength to break it. That's off a tree, obviously. It grows, it's like a fruit. But it's rich in flammable oils. And you once you've hit it with like a mortar and pestle a couple of times, you put a lighter to it, and then you just start fires with it. A natural firelighter. Dong pring.
Firelighter.
It's not bad, is it? Who just went firelighter? Have you got someone there?
Have I?
You got someone in the background taking the piss out of my accent?
No.
I like the way you looked. Do you not know who's in your house unless you have a look?
Come on, Mrs. is here. What are you watching?
I'm trying to see you fall off your chair.
Oh, she's watching. I've just heard someone on my missus, whatever she's watching, someone say my name, and she's trying to find me fall off the chair.
Ah, I get you. Oh, look at that bit of that action I got going. Actual woman fanning me.
Yeah, whereas I've got one trying to find me making an arse of myself live on the internet.
Right, people, I am going to go. I'll tell you what I needed to say was I will have a look at Buy Me a Coffee and all that later. That link's at the top of the YouTube, and you'll all get your video replies. Someone the other day said to me, I don't get to see your stream so much now because of the time difference and I've changed jobs. And I said, I'll try and chuck a couple in. And when I had the power cut, I thought, I can't do anything. I've got until my phone or my computer battery runs out because I can use my hotspot. And then luckily, while I was streaming, the power come back on. We've had about 70 people here. I've thoroughly enjoyed the stream, I must admit. Thank you to everyone who donated. Packer, I'll let you go, mate. Get some food and water into you, though, will you, son?
Will do.
Yeah, look after yourself, man. Ta-da.
Cheers, Scrubs.
I don't know how to get rid of him. There you go. Give Packer some love, though. It was weird not having him here, but I only thought I was going to be streaming for like 30 minutes, so I enjoyed that. I'll tell you what, people, I'll try and, because of this writing, I'm literally up all night writing. So if I start streaming at 11, I always promise myself I'll stream for about an hour, but I don't. I stream for 2.5. Same thing happened now. And then it's like 2:30. Then I'll have a shower. Then it's 3:00. And that, I don't get enough done. And to have written 67,000 words while having a job and a missus and a eating occasionally and sleeping for 10 minutes here and there. That's why I haven't been streaming so much, but I certainly will do. I love you all. I love this channel. 10 years, ups and downs. Very few people go for this long with so few subscribers. But I absolutely love it. I mean, people always email me and they're like, I tell you what, you don't realise how much you give to people. They really get a lot out. And well, same here, though. Same here. So I'm going to set up a little bit of music. I'll tell you what I'll do. We haven't had it for a while. Where is it? What's going on here? Why is nothing working? What, eh? Hang on. So, what? No, I don't want. Oh, drop me out. Right. Why won't that just go over there? Oh, I know why. Hang on, people. No, that should work all right. Why isn't that working? I know this doesn't exactly count for content. Now I've lost it. Now I've completely lost it. It's gone to, oh, there it is. If I put that over there. Right. Now you go over there. There you go. Pause that. All right. I'm learning how to use computers, people, slowly but surely. Now make that bigger. That's what she said. I didn't say you were angry, did I? Oh, yeah, you know what it is. Yeah, you've guessed it. You bastard. Did you hear him say it? Good call, Dawn Browning. Good call. I want to thank everyone who donated. I want to thank everyone. I want to thank Stephen Campbell. What an interesting time that was. And didn't we learn something? I hope you're all right, Stephen. It was a weird ending to the conversation, but in a way, it was an appropriate ending. I do hope you're all right, though. I do hope you didn't fall over and bang your head. Can you let someone in the Scrubs lifeboat know you're all right, please? Not even joking, because you just sort of disappeared. But I do hope you're all right. What? Like, you've got hearing psychic. I know what you're saying, Dawn. Dawn, that was a lovely gesture with Sarah as well. That was very kind. Thanks to everyone who talks in the chat. Thanks to the people who just linger and enjoy it. You're all welcome. Lovely. I'm probably going to make a video later. Warren's Secular Society. I'll get that done. Hello, darling. Nice to see thee. There she is. All right, people. Here's a bit of something you haven't heard for a while. I'll share the screen. I'll press entire screen. I'll press that. I'll put the sound on. I'll press share. I will be putting your comments on the screen as the music plays. It's a shame JP's gone because I've given a game away. Look, you can see the ghost of Alex Jones. Ta-da!
The company store, the paradigm of absolute control. And that's why we're just out here doing simple things, pointing out that we're meant to be in nature and be natural. And this is where we find the source that God made to transcend the New World Order. And that's why they want to try to keep us out of it.
I'm angry. I've had enough of these people. They're a bunch of Christian murderers, scum. They're on giant death factories keeping babies alive. selling their body parts. What more do you need to know about these people? I go out and face this scum.
Nice one, Daniel. Appreciate it. I mean, he's not finished, but it is sort of.
Screaming, we love Satan, we want to eat babies. I have them on video. Hillary's in the creepy, weird, sick stuff, man. She sleeps in the same room with that creepy, weird woman whose mother wears a hood over her head. That woman number one is ugly. Imagine how bad she smells, man. I'm told her and Obama just stink. Obama and Hillary both smell like sulfur. In a room, vampire pot, and the goblins are hobbling round, coming after us. My spirit gets close to that evil, and I feel it go. We're such self-centered crap, we don't even notice hell itself rising up against us. Millions of pointed people of the very worst type, and I'm so pissed. We're gonna stare your daughter at the mall. We're gonna stab your wife, your son. We're gonna stab you with a butcher knife, and then the police chief is gonna say, we love our Somalis, we love our Muslims. Oh, they're so good, oh, they're so sweet.
I was watching Fox News as I worked out this morning.
It's weird, actually, because so was I. Where am I? Am I even on the screen? I don't know what's happening here. Hang on. That. Hey? I don't even know if you can hear me. Oh, there you go. That'll do. We'll just have to have that weird border. Listen, people, I'll catch up with you soon. I can't do a stream tonight because I've got to spend some time with my missus, and I want to, obviously. And I've got to get some writing done. Thank you, Packer, for that last donation. That's very kind of you. Much appreciated, as always. There'll be no debriefing today, Packer, because my dinner's sitting over there, and it looks a little bit better than you, Packer. Have some drink, water, and have some beef. Hang on. Do it again. There you go. Look, he's got some agua. Good lad. He's muted, but he went. Look after yourself, people. It's a massive Sunday hoit. Hoita!